this hour on VTV News, Vietnam is a destination for global businesses. And seafood exporters boldly face challenges to achieve high growth rate. Later on in our war news, Iran condemns Israel's admissions of killing former Hamas leader.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Tuesday evening, Prime Minister Phạm held talks with the ambassadors of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar in Vietnam. Prime Minister Phạm expressed his sincere thanks for the warm welcome, hospitality, and affection that the royal families, governments, and people of the three countries gave to the Vietnamese delegation during their recent successful visit. The Prime Minister suggested that Vietnam and the country soon establish a joint working group to concretize high-level agreements on facilitating breakthroughs in economy, trade and investment, opening markets for the exchange of goods such as agriculture and aquatic products, halal products, increasing investment in potentials area, and supporting Vietnam in building an international and regional financial center. The ambassador said that the royal families and three governments highly appreciated the significance and result of the Prime Minister's historic visit. Immediately after the visit, senior leaders of the three countries directed many agencies and large corporations to actively implement high-level agreements and visit Vietnam to discuss specific areas of cooperation and investment. Vietnam has become a notable destination for global businesses, according to comments from the information site sourceofasia.com. The article comments that Vietnam has maintained close trade relations with the United States and China in recent years, while promoting domestic industries. The rise of the technology industry has also helped strengthen Vietnam's role as the innovation hub in Southeast Asia. As 2024 comes to a close, major public investment projects, including the NorthSouth Express Way, are running at full speed to meet construction and disbursement deadlines. These national-level infrastructure projects remain a top priority nationwide alongside locally managed projects. The Ministry of Transport has emphasized that weather conditions must not delay the project, particularly for central Vietnam sections, scheduled to be in operation by April 30th, 2025.
Asphalt paving stops during the rainy season. Contractors working on sections of the NorthSouth Express Way in central Vietnam have shifted their focus to work less affected by weather, which helps maintain overall project progress.
All necessary materials have been delivered to the construction sites to ensure smooth progress.
Efforts are also being made to address delays, particularly in site clearance, to prevent hold-ups that could disrupt the project's timeline.
We are currently dealing with site clearance in Quang Binh and Quang Tri provinces. If the site is handed over this December, we will complete the roadbed by January and begin paving in February.
Construction teams are prepared to ramp up efforts to recover lost time as weather conditions improve.
73% of the project is completed. All bridges and culverts along the main route are now finished.
The NorthSouth Expressway is expected to reach Quang Tri province by April 30th, 2025. The remaining sections are scheduled for completion by the end of 2025. It will mark a significant milestone in Vietnam's infrastructure development.
Vietnam's rice export this year have reached a record in output and export value, reaching about 9 million tons. The turnover is nearly $5.8 billion. The average rice export price has reached the highest level ever at over $600 per ton. Vietnam's average rice export price in the past 3 years has had an impressive growth journey, increasing by over 28% leading to double-digit growth in export turnover. This year, Vietnam ranked third in the world in rice export after India with 17 million tons and Thailand with 10 million tons. Vietnamese seafood export in 2024 will meet the $10 billion target, representing a 12% growth rate compared to the previous year. This will secure Vietnam's positions as the third largest seafood exporter in the world. The impressive feat highlights the sector's resilience, creativity, and adaptability in navigating challenges.
Early signs of recovery are evidenced in key markets, including the United States, China, and Europe. This company has accelerated efforts to grasp this opportunity. By capitalizing on these positive trends, the company has just reported a 5 to 10% increase in exports compared to 2023. The recovery also spurred growth in Vietnam's top seafood exports, including shrimp and crawfish, which together accounted for 60% of total export turnover.
European and South American markets hold as much potential as China. There's no need to sell at low prices. Proceed calmly and strategically.
The value-added ratio recorded in the U.S. market for shrimp products is around 50%. Only a few countries can achieve this level, which positions Vietnam well to compete globally.
Initiatives like greening the supply chain, promoting digital transformation in aquaculture, and focusing on high-quality value-added products have bolstered Vietnam's competitiveness. These efforts have helped the sector capitalize on global opportunities while maintaining its growth momentum.
The demand for high-quality products in major markets remains strong, creating significant opportunities for Vietnam and other exporters.
The government provides support through trade promotion activities and a comprehensive fishery strategy. Despite the challenges of 2024, the sector reached its goals early, proving the strength of the ecosystem and the determination of businesses and cooperatives.
Vietnam's seafood sector is poised for even greater success with continued governmental support and a focus on deep processing and market expansion. The target for 2025, which is $11 billion in exports, seems well within reach.
As the Lunar New Year approaches, the transport sector is entering its busiest seasons, and logistics are meticulously planned to meet the surge in demand for goods. These preparations are well underway to ensure smooth and efficient operations during this critical period, including investing in modern equipment, expanding their fleet, and recruiting additional workers.
In hopes of boosting his income during the year-end season, Phuc turned to delivery work, a job offering flexible hours. Despite being new to the role, he often works late into the night.
On average, each delivery worker handles at least 100 orders per day, while experienced couriers can manage up to 300.
Phuc's company is still actively hiring to keep up with the surge in demand. According to the company, recruitment efforts are primarily focused on delivery positions and are set to continue through Lunar New Year.
On average, each delivery worker handles at least 100 orders per day.
Alongside ramping recruitment, many shipping companies invest heavily in automated machinery and advanced equipment. One company plans to launch its second logistics center by the end of the year, with expectation to triple its current fleet of robots. This move aims to cut delivery times by 5 to 6 hours and reduce labor costs by up to 40%.
The company plans to scale up its operations by deploying 500 to 600 robots, potentially increasing 1,000 if necessary.
The Ministry of Information and Communications estimates a 20% growth in postal service revenue this year. As e-commerce continues to thrive, proactive measures by shipping companies are expected to play a crucial role in ensuring smooth and efficient goods circulation.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, December 25th. Coming up next on VTV News, Christmas Eve joyfully celebrated around Hanoi. And Ministry of Defense hands over lands to Thăng Long Hanoi Heritage Conservation Center. Despite the cold weather in Hanoi, thousands gather in churches and parishes to celebrate Christmas. At Tham Long Church, thousands of parishioners were present very early. Everyone gathered together to listen to Christmas carols and choirs. The sound settles in everyone's souls when the midnight Mass was held. Mass is a sacred moment to welcome God and everyone show respect. Christmas is also an occasion for everyone to temporarily put aside the worries of the old year and look forward to the good and happy things in the new year. Dong Nai has one of the largest Catholic populations in the country. The province is joining Catholics nationwide in celebrating the holiday season. Parishes across the province are adorned with bright lights, filling the night with a festive Christmas atmosphere.
At Sien Loc Cathedral in Long Kang City, Dong Nai Province, the Christmas spirit arrives early. Parishioners create miniatures, hang lights, and eagerly prepare for the holiday. With over 1.2 million Catholics and 270 parishes, Sien Loc Diocese is the largest in the country. Each person contributes voluntarily to make Christmas more meaningful.
I spent some time decorating for Christmas with everyone here.
Along with decorating churches and creating nativity scenes, most parishes organize social activities centered around living a good life and spreading the joy of Christmas to all.
During the holiday season, the parish visits the sick, offers them gifts, and distributes presents to disadvantaged families.
We strive to carry out charitable activities, including at least 20 initiatives to support older people, men, women, children, and people living with disabilities.
As the year draws to a close, Christmas preparations with colorful lights create a festive atmosphere, helping everyone look forward to a peaceful and joyful new year.
The United Nations General Assembly unanimously adopted the United Nations Convention on Cybercrime on Wednesday morning, Vietnam time. The convention consists of 9 chapters and 71 articles, the result of nearly 4 years of continuous negotiation between member countries from 2021 to 2024. According to Article 64, the convention will be open for signature in Hanoi in 2025 and named the Hanoi Convention. The convention will create an overarching legal framework, meeting the urgent need for international cooperation in promoting the rule of law and responding to increasing threats in cyberspace. The United Nations selections of Hanoi as the venue for the signing and naming ceremony of the conventions at an important milestone in Vietnam multilateral diplomacy history and this 47-year partnership between Vietnam and the United Nations. For the first time, a Vietnamese city has lent its name to a global multilateral treaty of great interest to the international community. First-time taxpayer without a tax code and online seller unfamiliar with tax declaration procedures can now easily file and pay taxes through the new e-commerce tax portal for individuals and business households. Launched by the General Department of Taxation just ahead of the year-end, the solution aims to simplify the tax payment process.
This an online seller specializing in women's fashion with a monthly revenue ranging from $5,000 to $6,500 USD, regularly fulfills her tax obligations. She uses the VNID app to scan her personal identification code and access the tax payment portal for individual businesses and households.
The new e-commerce portal is much simpler to use. I no longer have to input detailed information about my business for every tax declaration. Now I just declare my revenue, and the system automatically updates the necessary details.
The tax payment portal offers more convenient features than the e-tax mobile app. It is also user-friendly and easy to navigate, even for individuals unfamiliar with tax procedures.
You can request one online through this portal if you don't have a tax code. The portal provides a Q&A feature to assist you, offering guidance on what to declare and automatically calculating the amount of tax due.
The taxpayer database solutions under Project 06 and new approaches to e-commerce tax collection have played a key role in significantly boosting local tax revenue.
The Hanoi Tax Department projected that revenues would reach $1.62 billion in 2024. Individuals and business households are expected to contribute about $51 million.
Starting in the second quarter of 2025, in line with amendments to the law on tax administration, the tax authorities will implement e-commerce and digital platforms to handle tax declarations and payments on behalf of online sellers. This initiative aims to comprehensively review the collection of taxes from online businesses while streamlining and simplifying the tax payment process.
The southern province of Kiên is set to run a pilot to extend operating hours for ferries and high-speed boats. The pilot is to test out nighttime services aiming to boost tourism and facilitate islands-bound goods transport. Under this pilot program, these services will operate from 4 to 6 a.m. and 6 to 10 p.m. The trial running until December 31st of next year. The province boasts numerous ferry and speedboat routes connecting the mainland to its islands. By extending service hours, the province aims to enhance the travel experience and strengthen its tourism sectors, paving the way for it to become a key economic driver in the coming years. On Wednesday morning, the Ministry of Defense General Political Departments officially transferred land and assets of the Vietnam Military History Museum at 28A Điện Biên Phủ Street in Hanoi, Ba Đình District to the Thăng Long Hanoi Heritage Conservation Center. This handover fulfills Vietnam's commitment to UNESCO in preserving and enhancing the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel, a World Cultural Heritage Site. The museum restoration will include refurbishing the reception area, the thematic exhibition halls, and the workspaces. A new sightseeing route within the heritage area will also be developed. Key efforts will focus on preserving the Hanoi Flag Tower, a prominent relic. These upgrades aim to elevate the museum appeal while safeguarding its culture and historical value for future generations. Efforts to promote Vietnamese tourism in international markets in 2024 have yielded encouraging results, thanks to the strong focus and investment from the government and businesses in the tourism industry. The goal is to attract international tourists and enhance the values of Vietnam tourism sectors, consolidating the country's positions on the global tourism map.
The Vietnam Cultural and Tourism Festival in Quang Minh aims to strengthen cooperation between Vietnam and China. Images of Vietnam are displayed thematically: Vietnam, the land of marvelous heritage; Vietnam, the home of World Biosphere Reserves; Vietnam in humanity's memory; and Vietnam, the home of intangible world heritage.
Vietnam has diverse landscapes and great potential for tourism development. Chinese tourists really enjoy traveling to Vietnam.
This year also marks the first time the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism has organized a large-scale tourism and film promotion event in the United States. 6 memorandums of understanding have been signed in the U.S., promising support mechanisms for American film crews in Vietnam. Vietnam aims to welcome 1.3 million American visitors by 2028,
which was on Netflix across the global world, as we say, and it was a joyous experience to film in Vietnam.
In Europe, tourism promotion efforts have also been boosted through a series of photo exhibitions and promotional seminars in Moscow and St. Petersburg, with the aim of revitalizing the market to pre-COVID-19 levels. International tourism fairs are being prioritized to reach a broad audience of travelers worldwide.
It is important to focus on close collaboration with other countries, with the ultimate objective of leveraging each country's strengths and promoting cultural cooperation.
The success of promotional efforts is reflected in the 17.5 million international visitors to Vietnam in 2024. The tourism industry aims to fully recover to pre-pandemic levels by 2025, welcoming approximately 22 to 23 million international visitors.
Coming up next in our world news, Iran condemns Israel's admissions of killing former Hamas leader. And Russia extends rice export ban. Iran strongly condemned Israel after the latter confirmed for the first time that it was responsible for the killing of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Iran last July. Iran's ambassador to the United Nations, Amir Saeed Iravani, sent a letter to the UN Secretary General, sharply criticizing Israel's public statements about the incident. In the letter, Ambassador Iravani emphasized that Israel's actions were unacceptable. The admissions came on December 23rd when Israel's defense minister acknowledged the country's involvement during a ceremony honoring military personnel. The Russian government announced that it will extend its ban on rice and rice product exports, including seed, for an additional 6 months until June 30th, 2025. The decision is aimed at ensuring a stable domestic supply. However, the ban will not affect rice export to Eurasian Economic Union members countries. The export restrictions were implemented after an accident at hydroelectric power plant in the Krasnodar region. This led to a significant decrease in Russia's rice production. This year, the country's output has dropped to 797,000 tons, a sharp decline from over 1 million tons last year. This marked the first time that Russia's rice production has fallen below 1 million tons in recent years. Japan has unveiled a new plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 60% to 2013 levels by 2035 as part of its broader goal to achieve net zero emission by 2050. This updated target builds on the country's commitment to a 46% reduction by 2030 and net zero emission by mid-century. However, some politicians and environmental groups have criticized the target, arguing that it falls short when Japan is the world's 5th largest carbon emitter and still relies heavily on fossil fuels. The revived target, known as the Nationally Determined Contributions (NDCs), will be submitted to the United Nations following a public consultation in February. It is designed to align with Japan's updated Basic Energy Plan and its Green Transformation Vision 2040. The festive spirit of Christmas is felt around the globe, with cities worldwide adorning their streets and hosting various events to celebrate the holiday season. As Christmas and the New Year approach, leaders and citizens alike express their hope for peace and happiness in the coming year.
This Christmas, I will be hoping for peace, particularly in the Middle East, as the birthplace of the Christmas story. I'll be looking towards a better, brighter future for every person and celebrating the joy and wonder that
from Bethlehem is a message of hope, and we insist that we must have the hope in this part of the world, in the Holy Land, because without hope we can't continue.
Whatever happened in the world, and especially in Syria, we as a Christian believing in God, King of Peace.
I hope that all the challenges will be resolved in the coming year, allowing people to return home. I can feel the joyful Christmas atmosphere, with all the streets beautifully decorated. I hope that all good things will come to us.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.